Hello everyone and welcome to my CBS Soaps official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tuesday, November 4, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless, Claire gets more curious about what happened with Audra. Noah's family is by his side as he comes out of the coma, and Mitch notices Sienna is on edge. In LA, Nick drops by Sharon's room to discuss what a nightmare it is to have Matt Clark back in their lives after all these years. Clark must have targeted their son, but it's hard to imagine what he had planned. Nick is going to call his father to have some eyes put on him. He plans to surprise him at the club and get some answers. With her hungover eyes hidden behind sunglasses, Claire pokes at an omelet as she has breakfast with Nikki and Victoria at the hotel. They wonder if Claire did something she regrets. The only thing she's regretting is her headache. Nikki wonders if she's managed to figure anything out on her trip. Claire admits she's feeling more confused than ever, but she plans to live for the moment. It also seems like it's time to get back home. Holden pops up, joking about Claire looking like a movie star and asking after Noah. Nikki and Victoria don't stick around to chat, announcing they have to get back to the hospital. Once alone, Holden worries that Claire has decided to leave town because of what happened last night. She assures him she has no regrets. This trip was about her getting some perspective. Now she has it and can head back to her real life. Holden wonders if there is a place for him in her new life. She's made no choices about any of that, which is fine with him. Before she goes, Claire wants to see the mountains and drop in on Sienna to thank her for her hospitality. Holden guesses she hasn't let go of her interest in Audra's past. Claire will admit she'd like to have some ammunition for the next inevitable fight with that woman. Holden still believes some skeletons are better kept in the closet. At the shadow room, Mitch tells Sienna he has no clue why Nick and Sharon think he's this Matt Clark character. Sienna can't understand it either. They discuss her working late, crashing in the office, and not calling him. She admits that all the questions about Noah have her frazzled. He may have met up with someone at the club who tried to kill him, which could implicate them in this mess. Mitch thinks she's overreacting, adding that the whole mess will go away if Noah doesn't pull through. Despite Mitch's hopes that Noah will succumb, Sharon arrives in her son's hospital room to his finger fidgeting, and then gasps when his hand starts to move. "Mom," he groans. Sharon calls in the doctor, who explains that they began easing her son out of the coma this morning. Noah asks his mom what happened. She urges him not to tax himself. Even though she doesn't want to let go of his hand, she needs to spread the good news. Rushing out the door, Sharon runs into Victoria and Nikki and can't contain her tears of joy. She admits she was terrified this would be Cassie all over again. The trio enters Noah's room and he tells them he loves them. As they fuss over him, Sharon steps away to make calls. Noah questions Nikki about the crash, but she urges him to rest and build up his strength. On a rooftop, Holden and Claire admire the mountain view and take a million selfies before heading for the shadow room. He convinces her to keep her questions about Audra to herself for the time being. Once inside, Claire thanks Sienna for her hospitality. Mitch appears and gets an introduction. He's cool toward Holden and tells Claire that he knew Noah in London. When he expresses hope that Holden no longer has to deal with Audra, Novik admits she's unavoidable in Genoa City, but he tries. Once Claire and Holden have exited, Mitch tells Sienna he doesn't understand why she's so on edge when she barely had contact with Noah. Outside, Holden admits to Claire that there's tension between him and Mitch. She gets the impression that something really bad happened with Audra. Claire has a problem with secrets and doesn't think they will have much of a friendship if he can't be honest with her, before he can say anything. Nick arrives, eager to see Mitch. Claire can't help noticing that BTH he and Sharon have a lot of questions about him. Once alone, but before he can enter the club, Nick takes a call from Sharon announcing that Noah is awake and he needs to return to the hospital immediately. Tuesday, November 4, 2025, extended episode. Today on The Young and the Restless, Claire's curiosity about Audra's past deepens, Noah's family rejoices as he awakens from his coma, and Mitch's cool demeanor begins to crack under Sienna's growing unease. Meanwhile, Nick takes drastic steps to confront the ghosts of his past and the man who may have come back from the dead. The morning air in Los Angeles feels heavy with secrets and sunlight. In her suite, Sharon sits by the window, her eyes fixed on the waves as Nick knocks lightly and lets himself in. The tension between them is thick, the kind that comes only from years of history, love, heartbreak, and a shared fear that never really fades. Nick tosses his keys on the table and exhales. Matt Clark, I never thought we'd say that name again, he mutters. Sharon's voice trembles. After all this time, why now? Why come back into our lives? She looks over at him, haunted. You don't think he's after Noah, do you? Nick rubs his temples. I don't know what to think. The man's like a ghost that refuses to stay buried, but I'm not taking chances. I'm going to call Dad, have security follow his every move. If Matt Clark's back in town, he won't be hiding for long. He picks up his phone, but his hand pauses mid-dial. You know what? I'll do one better. I'll go to him myself. Sharon stands abruptly. Nick, don't. He silences her with a look. I need answers, Sharon. If this guy been anywhere near our son, I need to know. Meanwhile, across town at the rooftop restaurant of the Beverly Grand Hotel, Claire sits slouched at a breakfast table with Nikki and Victoria, oversized sunglasses covering her tired eyes. The bright morning light feels almost cruel after last night's chaos. Nikki eyes her granddaughter with amusement. Rough night. Just a little too much champagne, Claire mutters, pushing her omelet around her plate, and maybe a few bad decisions. Victoria smirks knowingly. Anything worth regretting. Claire offers a wry grin. Only this hangover. Nikki exchanges a glance with her daughter. Did you at least figure out what you came here to figure out about yourself, about Audra? Claire sighs deeply, leaning back. I thought I would, but the more I search for answers, the more confused I get. Maybe the problem is Audra, maybe it's me. Victoria softens. Maybe it's just time to go home. I think so, Claire admits quietly. It's time to face whatever waiting for me in Genoa City. Before the conversation can go deeper, Holden appears, his smile as bright as the morning sun. Well, if it is Hollywood's newest starlet, he teases. Those sunglasses belong on a red carpet. Claire laughs softly. I'm not exactly red carpet ready. Holden pulls up a chair, greeting Nikki and Victoria before they excuse themselves, saying they need to check on Noah. Once they're gone, his tone turns gentle. So, heading out already? I think it's time, she replies, sipping her coffee. This trip gave me perspective. Perspective, he repeats. That sounds like goodbye. She looks at him, half smiling. Maybe, or maybe just see you later. Holden studies her face. Any room for me in this new perspective? I haven't decided yet, she says honestly, and that's okay. He nods, masking his disappointment with a smile. Then I'll wait for the sequel. Later, Holden drives Claire into the hills. They pull off at a scenic overlook, the mountains stretching endlessly before them. She takes a deep breath, feeling lighter than she has in weeks. This view, Claire murmurs, raising her phone to take a selfie. Proof I lived a little. Holden laughs. You lived a lot more than that, Claire. They share a quiet moment before she turns serious. Before I go, I want to stop by the shadow room. I owe Sienna a thank you. Holden's expression tightens, still chasing ghosts, still asking about Audra. Claire's lips twitch. You know me, I can't help it. And if I'm going to keep running into her back home, I might as well be armed with the truth. Some truths aren't meant to be uncovered, Holden warns. Maybe, she says, but secrets have a way of finding their way out one way or another. At the shadow room, Sienna paces her office, stress etching every line of her face. Mitch leans against the desk, watching her. I still don't understand why Nick and Sharon think I'm this Matt Clark, Mitch says, his voice cool but brittle. It's ridiculous. Sienna shakes her head. It's not just that. I've been thinking about Noah, about that night. What if someone did try to kill him? Mitch frowns. You're jumping to conclusions. No, she insists. He met someone here, Mitch, someone dangerous, and if it wasn't you, then who? His expression hardens. You're letting paranoia take over. Once this blows over, nobody will remember any of it. Especially if, he hesitates, then says it anyway. Especially if Noah doesn't make it. Sienna's eyes widen in horror. Don't say that. Mitch shrugs coldly. It's the truth. But fate and a mother's love has other plans. At Memorial Hospital, Sharon sits at Noah's bedside, his hand limp in hers. Machines beep steadily. She whispers softly, tears clinging to her lashes. You have to come back to me, sweetheart. I can't lose you again. And then, a twitch, a flutter of movement. Sharon freezes, holding her breath. Noah's fingers fidget, then his eyes flicker open, groggy and glassy. "Mom," he croaks. Sharon gasps, tears streaming down her face. "Oh my God, Noah." The doctor rushes in as alarms sound, nurses flooding the room. The doctor explains gently that they began easing him out of the coma this morning, but his response is stronger than they expected. Noah looks around confused. What happened? "Don't worry about that right now," Sharon whispers, clutching his hand tighter. "You're safe, that's all that matters." But as much as she wants to stay, she needs to share the news. She kisses his forehead and hurries into the hall where Nikki and Victoria arrive just in time to see her tear-streaked smile. "He's awake," Sharon sobs. "He's really awake." The three women cling to each other, their relief overwhelming. Back inside the room, Noah stares at the ceiling, his memories foggy. When Nikki and Victoria come in, he manages a weak smile. "Hey, guess I scared everyone, huh?" "You sure did," Victoria says, brushing his hair back gently. Nikki squeezes his shoulder. "All that matters now is rest, the rest can wait." But Noah's brow furrows. The crash, who else was there? Did someone? Nikki interrupts quickly. "Don't worry about that now, we'll talk later." She exchanges a worried glance with Victoria. Whatever happened that night, the truth might hurt more than the recovery. Later that afternoon, Holden and Claire arrive at the shadow room. She's radiant again, refreshed and ready to face her demons. Holden, however, looks tense the moment they step inside. Sienna greets them warmly, though her smile doesn't reach her eyes. "Claire, you didn't have to stop by." "I wanted to thank you," Claire says sincerely, "for everything." Before Sienna can respond, Mitch emerges from the office, his presence immediately darkening the room. "Mitch, this is Claire," Sienna says carefully. "She's a friend." Mitch nods curtly, his gaze landing on Holden. "And you must be Novik, still chasing Audra Charles, huh?" Holden bristles. She has a way of turning up where she's not wanted. "Don't we all?" Mitch replies cryptically. Claire senses the tension instantly. "You two know each other." "Let's just say," Holden murmurs, "we've crossed paths." Mitch's smirk fades. Small world. As Claire and Holden leave, Sienna rounds on Mitch. "What was that about?" "Nothing you need to worry about," he mutters. "You're lying," she says quietly. "And whatever this thing is between you and Holden, it's not nothing." Outside the club, Claire and Holden pause near the valet. She looks at him carefully. "There's something you're not telling me about Audra, about Mitch." Holden exhales. "It's complicated." "Everything is," she counters. "But I don't do secrets, Holden. If you want me in your life, even as a friend, I need honesty." He opens his mouth to respond, but before he can speak, Nick pulls up, his expression stormy. He's clearly come looking for Mitch. "Nick," Claire says in surprise, "what are you doing here?" "Looking for answers," he replies shortly, glancing past her toward the club entrance. "That man inside, he's not who he says he is." Before she can press him, his phone rings. It's Sharon, her voice trembling with emotion. "Noah's awake," she says. "Nick, he's awake." For a moment, everything else fades. Nick's face softens, relief washing over him. "I'm on my way," he promises, hanging up. Claire watches him go, her heart pounding. Between Matt Clark, Audra's ghosts, and Holden's evasive silence, she senses that this story, her story, is only just beginning. Next time on The Young and the Restless, Noah remembers something shocking about the night of the crash. Sienna receives a threatening message that makes her question everything. And Claire's quest for the truth about Audra uncovers a betrayal that changes everything. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.